In corporate PR management, general policy in a disaster is to issue an apology, to say that you understand the problem and it won't happen again.
Yeah, and implement steps that make sure that it won't happen again.
Now they have hired a PR expert, Michael Citrick. He's one of the top PR crisis managers in the world, who apparently has not helped them handle their PR crisis. Their goal, as I understand it, is to stop all in theta online. Their goal, as I understand it, is to stop all in theta online. How do they propose to do that?
My proposition to do that is, first of all, you stop lying. You admit to every lie that you did. You make it totally transparent so that every time you go out and say something, it's fact-checked. But the problem is Scientology cannot admit to wrongness and cannot stop lying, because there are root problems there that cannot be addressed by the staff in OSA, because it would be a violation of LRH policy if they stopped lying. There's stuff there you need to lie about.
It is odd that the fundamental principle of the church is that it lies, and it must lie.
Yeah, I can tell you an example.
Please.
Do you believe that there was a galactic emperor called Zeno who brought his people to Earth 75 million years ago and buried them in volcanoes?
Okay.
Do you believe that?
Martin, I am not going to discuss the disgusting perversions of Scientology beliefs that can be found now commonly on the internet and be put in the position of talking about things talking about things that are so fundamentally offensive to Scientologists to discuss. That's all.
I have the burden of my own journalistic responsibility that I bring to this meeting, and I hope that I've been appropriately respectful of you in my asking of the questions.
Well, you haven't, to the degree that the question that you asked me, you know, by virtue of the fact that it's been made very clear in other media entities that it's something that we consider offensive. And it is in violation of my religious beliefs to talk about them.
So just for clarification, do you personally believe...
I'm going to stop you. If you're going to ask me that question again, and you're going to repeat things about volcanoes and this kind of thing and so on and so forth, I will stand up and walk out, Martin, because what you're doing by doing that is you are intentionally asking me things which you know I find offensive, and you're insisting on asking me of them. So I'm asking you one more time.
Mr. Davis, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to ask you a series of questions about the public faith that you have. I'm not trying to mock you. I'm trying to understand what your beliefs are.
Sure.
You've explained what auditing is. You've explained the growth of the church. You've done all of those things.
Sure.
I am asking you in the context of those questions. In the context of those questions, is it true that L. Ron Hubbard said that understanding the origins of the human race as described through Xenu and the intergalactic emperor, is it true that somebody would die in capsule mode?
Well, even now with Marty Rathbun, they have lied and said that he was never an important church official, that he was a nobody, and yet in the Luis Garcia lawsuit, he's suddenly a very important church official who cannot be possibly involved in this case. Why the nonstop lies? What LRH policies makes them lie all the time about almost everything?
It's not only one single policy, because you can always pull out a policy that covers anything in Scientology. LRH also said never use lies in PR. But it's the whole idea that Scientology is the most important thing in the universe. It is the only thing that can save the universe. So if it is, let's say it was, it is the most important thing that ever emerged.
For the sake of argument, yes.
For the sake of argument. Now, nothing could be more important. Therefore, lying is you can get away with lying, you can get away potentially with murder to save Scientology. Anything to save Scientology would be okay. And also, LRH says specifically in keeping Scientology working, number one, that a group has only their reactive mind, their bank, their aberrations, their insanities in common. So a group, the ultimate group on the planet Earth is the internet. So that is the ultimate bank agreement, the ultimate insanity in common. So therefore, OSAINT has this idea that, yeah, the internet is sort of a group agreement, common insanity, it's a snake pit. So it's us against them, and we are superior.
So their view of the internet is very distorted, that they think it's an insane activity and they have to impose order on it by putting in an acceptable truth or a lie.
A lie, acceptable truth, putting in ethics on the planet, you know, making people behave, making people more sane, more rational, if not by auditing and the counseling, then by ethics and force.
So even though the internet will find your lies and expose them ruthlessly, because it's interested in the truth,
Yeah.
the church will continue to lie. Does it have contempt for non-Scientologists?
They do. First of all, is this idea about the homo novus and we are superior, etc. It's a classical cult thing. You're inside the elite group, and therefore the others on the outside are less, you know, important or less valuable than yourself.
They're wogs.
They're wogs, yeah, a classical thing. I did a blog post on that regarding labels, and Scientology is very good at putting labels on people. SP, PTS, you can look this up.
Dirty bit.